The drama of that in a second, but put into context what this means for Croatia to reach a World Cup semi-final.
It is more than football, you know. To be fair, we had some good sportsmen like Ivan Išević in tennis. He won the Wimbledon. Basketball is huge, and we were good. But that success, that bronze medal from '98, is still maybe the best achievement in sports, because football is #1 sport. So this means more than just a semi-final of the World Cup.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, you said to me in the past that when you reached the semi-final, you knew that even if you lost the semi, which you did, you'd have a chance of winning the bronze medal. So that obviously they want to reach the World Cup final, but they know they have a chance now of winning something tangible, even if they happen to come third.
Exactly, but of course they want to go to the final, you know. And it's okay, we didn't. Yes, so do you, and it's going to be a good game, and I'm expecting us to do better against England, because as we were talking now, England is playing a little bit differently. They are more dangerous when they have the ball, but they are more vulnerable when they don't have a ball. So hopefully we're going to play the way we can.
I think the worrying thing for England, let's start worrying already.
It wouldn't be English if we weren't worrying already.
Exactly, yeah. It is the fact that we've still not seen the best of Croatia, and leading up to the game against us, I think there's a lot more to come from certainly the two midfield players, and we've just talked about the spaces that they'll have when they've got the ball. So it'll be a totally different game. But I don't think they'll relish playing England. I think they'll be looking at it saying, because ours is a juggernaut that's moving along and playing well, and I think there's more to come from England. I really do. So I think it's really poised for a brilliant semi-final.
Yeah, I think both teams will be confident. I really do. I mean, Croatia have played two very difficult games against Denmark and Russia. Two teams who just, particularly in the first half, Denmark, and all the games today, where they're just so rigid. And you're trying to nullify that midfield always of Croatia, where they've got Rakitic and Modric, Brozovic, really, you know, Kovacic when he comes on, really talented players. England with Jesse Lingard and Dele Alli in front of Jordan Henderson do leave more space, because Jesse Lingard and Dele Alli are attacking players, so they do vacate the area of midfield. The Russians tonight, or the Denmark team the other night, never vacated midfield. They never emptied it. England do. It's a strength of England, but it could potentially give Croatia more space, which I think will make it for a really good game.
Let's have a look at the penalties then, as Croatia become the second team to win 2 penalty shootouts at the same World Cup. Argentina 1990 did that as well. Subasic had a little bit of treatment beforehand. That's a bizarre penalty, Gary, isn't it, from Smolov to try and chip it first up?
He looks huge, Subasic, in net, and you might think he's going to dive one way or the other, the dink will do him, but it's a risk. If it comes off, you look great. If it doesn't, then... But
this is the penalty, sorry, of Smolov. He's a great talent. He's a top scorer in Russian league, but he plays for a smaller club. If you play for a big club, you don't underestimate the scale and the importance of it.
So Kovacic is saved, and then Fernandez is saved, and that, Slaven, your heart must have been in your mouth, because Akinfeev gets a hand on that.
You know what is good about this win? I'm not exciting that. No, but I'm telling you what is good about this win, or these 2 games against Denmark and this. If you are superstitious, and all the players are superstitious,
all sportsmen,
you think like, it's our time, this is our tournament.
No, I'm
everything
not
we have that we have that little bit of luck, you know.
Yeah, you've used it all up. Used it all up, mate. That's what I go out. No, but just looking back at that, and we look at Fernandez, the highs and lows of the World Cup, to score the equaliser with 5 minutes to go, he must have thought his world is complete, and then he misses a penalty. Not only misses it, but he actually misses the goal, and he's gone down to here, so he's not going to sleep well.
What happened to that technique? That wasn't very Brazilian, was it? He sort of slapped it wide.
Absolutely nerves. You know, is it over the top? It's a 5-iron over the top, and he's pulled it left. You know, it's terrible.
The first thing we said at the end of extra time was how many of the Russian players that took penalties were on the pitch, and there were only 2 of them. So you're having players having to step up, and it is nerves. I mean, that was... If you ever saw nerves and anxiety in a penalty, that was it. The technique goes out of the window, the shoulders move, he snatches at it, and you really do feel for him, to be honest with you.
What's it's coming home in Croatian?
What's coming home? No, but...
you know full well what it is.
We didn't have a... What do you mean? The bronze medal is coming home? No. We are... look, we didn't have a great game, but... First of all, this is not Bolshoi theater. This is like, it's about the result. And second, from this, I'm not objective, but from these teams, we were the team that were looking to avoid the penalties, to be fair, and to score goal.
Well, you won 2 shootouts in a row. The way that England play may be to Croatia's advantage in terms of the Croatian midfield getting beyond England's.
Well, I think one of our strengths, we've talked about it before, is when we've got the ball, the expansive game that we do play with Dele Alli and Lingard, full of legs, full of runs. Obviously Sterling as well, playing that advanced role, which is great when we've got the ball. And I think against Tunisia and Panama, there was at times where we got caught out a little bit in midfield. Henderson got caught with 3 or 4 players when we lost the ball playing out from the back. And certainly against Croatia, you know, there's going to be space for more space for Modric and Rakitic in that midfield area. So it's something that's, without the ball, it could be a problem for us, with the ball. And I think that's the difference between their games they've played recently, is they haven't had any space in midfield. They might get a bit more against England.
It goes back to, exactly, goes back to when we played. Our best games were always 98, the game against Germany, 2008, the game against Germany, 2002 we beat Italy, 2016, now we were there in Paris, the game against Spain. This tournament, our best game is the game against Argentina. Trying to play. We are behind the ball. We can press, but we are behind the ball, but controlling the space perfectly. And good players like Rakitic, Modric, they sacrifice for the team. They are doing that. They are not just in the position. They are crazy to win the ball back. When we win the ball back, or the opponent makes a mistake, then we have that quality to use that opportunity.
It's the highest level of player quality that England have faced in this tournament. I know we played Belgium, but it was a meaningless game. Panama, Tunisia, Colombia, Sweden today. Rakitic, Rebic, Perisic, Mandzukic, Modric is a higher level. This is a different test for our team on Wednesday. I think we can do well in the game, but it's another level, a different level.
Is it a 50-50 game? Feels that way?
I think it is a 50-50 game. I think it is a 50-50 game. And
so
both teams will
Tuesday, I'm expecting 25-75.
Well, what about the extra times, though? Are you worried on a physical nature for Croatia?
In one hand, definitely, it's second time. But in the second hand, can you imagine the boost and the adrenaline and the energy that they're gonna get from this win? So they're going to be ready for Wednesday.
We've talked about the problems we might have. They're going to have problems with our forwards. And if you look at their 2 centre-backs in Lover and Vida, you know, they got away with it tonight a little bit. I think they can be really got at, especially if Harry Kane comes short like he did in this afternoon's game. He came short and left that space for Sterling to making them runs. That's why they've got to sort out where they play their line. If they don't set their line right, they could be in trouble at the back as well.
And it's going to be the clash of systems. You know, you are playing like 3-5-2 or whatever. We are playing 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. So there's going to be a team's going to have the advantage and disadvantage in the same time. You know what I mean? Depending where are you losing the ball at that moment.
Successful World Cup, whatever now for England. We can say that, can't we? Because before the tournament, you talked about how England hit past sometimes but never overachieved. Yes, the draw's fallen for them, but successful World Cup.
100%. And I think that even today, if we'd lost, people would have said, oh, we only beat Colombia after extra time and penalties. We only beat Tunisia and Panama. Today makes it without a shadow of a doubt. But the thing is, this team's progressed in maturity and experience, and the thing, control. I said before the game, England teams in the past that have gone in front, retreated and were protective. If they were behind, they got desperate. This team has retained its composure right the way through the tournament, and they've done brilliantly well. Brilliant. It's going to be an exciting few days, isn't it? Thank you very much indeed, gents. Wednesday night it is then for the biggest game in English football history. For 28 years, they take on Croatia. We're on air from 6 here on ITV. With all the build-up, should be some night. Before that, Tuesday night, we'll have highlights of the other semi-final as France take on Belgium. That's from 10:45. And tomorrow, it's day 2 of the Tour de France. So make sure you join Gary Imlach and the team for live coverage from noon on ITV4 for the Tour de France, the second day there. So 4 teams are left standing, and thrillingly, England are one of them. Cancel all your plans. Everyone will understand. We know this doesn't happen very often. We found out it's coming home in Croatian. It is...
Dolazi
Kući.
We're bilingual here. See you in a few days. Thanks for your company. Good night.